We nailed it.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to Paganum Library this afternoon. I'm Cynthia, I'm the librarian, and we're excited to welcome former illusionist Greg Dwyer, who's going to talk to us about 3 things to help us stay focused in this age of distraction. Welcome, Greg. Thank you very much.
How often do you get distracted? You know what's important. Maybe you wrote it down today. But how often do you get distracted? I don't know. I get distracted. I'm sure we're in the right place. I think for most people who live in a world of distraction, it's easy to get focused, especially on New Year's Eve, right? Have resolutions, or you're focusing on something, weight loss, relationships, money, or something. But you know how many people stay focused? Like, it's less than 5% of people. In fact, people don't even make New Year's resolutions anymore. They don't even think about it. Or if they do, it's the same New Year's resolution they made last year, and it's the same thing they're going to do next year. Getting focused is really easy. It really is. It's staying focused. That's the real magic, staying focused. So what we're going to discover today, it's going to be fun, is how to get focused on what's important to you. Not me, why you're here. What's important to you, getting there and staying there so that you can beat the odds. Are you up for that? Raise your hand.
Yes.
Excellent. So if you're like me, you go online and you say, how do I do this? This is the first thing I did many years ago. And this is what they'll tell you online, Google, social media. They'll say, get a good night's sleep. Right? You want to be well rested. You want to get out in nature. You want to exercise, take breaks, listen to music. You want to be relaxed. You also want to eat a very nutritious meal and avoid caffeine. You want to declutter your office space. You want to unplug from computers. And get this is the one that really gets me. Make a to-do list. Who has time for all of these things? What if I could show you a 3-step process that Cindy introduced me with? A 3-step process that is really simple to do, that you can walk out of here without even taking notes. That's how simple it'll be. And that you can implement it immediately so that you can get focused and you can stay focused and beat the odds. That's what we're going to talk about. So let me ask you, what do most people rely on? Actually, I got a better question. What do you rely on to get and stay focused? What do you rely on? Anybody? What do you rely on?
I make that to-do list.
You do the two, and is it working? Is it good? Okay.
Yes, it always works.
It always works. That's good. So,
except there's maybe more things on there than I can get to.
Yes, you can never get to everything. So relying on a to-do list is a great thing. I'm not putting it down. I mean, if you Google these things, it'll say, make a to-do list. Anybody else? What do you do, sir? What do you do?
No.
No. Okay. All right. She brought you here is what happened. Anybody else want to volunteer besides making a to-do list? Yes?
I designate time, how
Yes.
much time
Yes.
for each of the tasks.
Yes.
And if I run out, it's okay. I call it surface.
Yes. Why do you call it surface?
Well, because if I may not get it all done.
Yes.
And it's okay with me if I know it's just going to be designated time.
Okay. Yeah, that's really great advice. What about other people? What do you think other people rely on? Take a guess. What do they rely on? You're pointing to your head. What do you say?
People rely on their thinking.
Yes, their
Which
thinking. Doesn't work. It doesn't always help. And here's the reason. The conscious mind, and you nailed it, the conscious mind is easily distracted. This is the reason. So people will rely on their willpower, they'll rely on a to-do list, but what they're really relying on is their conscious mind. I wish you were with me. It was 1972, December 25th. Danbury, Connecticut, where I was born and raised. I was at my grandparents' house. I'm half Irish, half Italian, born on Christmas. I'm in this big family, 32 people. The gentleman sitting next to me kind of looks like St. Nicholas, but skinny, Irish. He's the only other Irish guy in the room except for my dad. And people are drinking, celebrating, smoking, talking all at the same time, because it's a big Italian family. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been in, but everybody is talking. There's a lot of distractions. You can smell the food. It kind of brings me right back then. And all of a sudden, my Uncle Victor, who's sitting next to me, who kind of has like this twinkle in his eyes, he's a little bit mischievous. He says, Gregory, look, picks up a quarter, just like this, says, Greg, look, puts it in his hand, and I'm not kidding you. And I went, Uncle Vic, how did you do that? Literally, I mean, I was like, I've never seen anything like it in my life. He says, I can't tell you, kid. I said, Vic, I can keep a secret. I can keep a secret. He goes, yeah, so can I. See, I was thinking to myself, if I could learn this magic, I could not only entertain people, but I could also persuade people. And I said, Vic, you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. Finally, he did. After like about an hour of me begging him, I wanted him to teach me how he did it. Like, I was completely amazed. He said, all right, come here. Greg, come here. I said, what? I did it with a little bit of misdirection. That was the night he introduced me to misdirection, and my life changed. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the fact that my uncle in 1972 introduced me to misdirection. And this is what she taught me, if you're taking notes. What she taught me is that the conscious mind is easily distracted. So let me show you. Rather than me just talking about it, let me show you. Just put everything away. You're going to need your hands. Put cell phones away. I don't want you to be distracted. You don't need paper. You're going to get the video if you want it. So what you do is you do this. Ready? Take your hand out like this. Close it like this. And just follow me. Just bring one finger up just like that. Okay, we got to start again because that's your thumb, not your finger. The conscious mind is easily distracted. Try. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I was fooled too back in 1972. So make a circle. Make a circle with your fingers and your thumb. So you're going to make a circle. See, I got a circle here. You see the circle? I'll see the circle. Look at your circle. I'll look at my circle. Now, bring it right next to your ear. And then just put it right on your chin, just like that. Now, ma'am, this is your chin. Some of you got it. Some of you didn't.
Active listening.
Misdirection. The conscious mind. When you tell people, okay, look, make a list, rely on this, rely on that. What we're doing is we're relying on our conscious mind. And the challenge with our conscious mind is we easily get distracted. I was talking to Cindy earlier, and hopefully it's okay for me to share this. She'll focus on one thing, and then an email will come in, a phone call. Have you done that? It's happened to me. You know, this happens, and then you get back to, oh my gosh, I got to get back to the conscious mind, right, Cindy? The conscious mind is easily distracted. So last year I was at the MGM in Vegas. What's your first name?
Jill.
Jill. I was sitting in the front row where Jill is, and David Copperfield was 2 feet away from me. I could reach out and touch the stage. This is absolutely true. Walks out on stage. He goes like this, and then he crosses his arm. So let me show you what I mean. Take your left arm, okay, and you're going to cross it. You're going to cross it over your right. So keep your arms parallel, just like this, like you're going to get arrested, sir. You probably know what I mean, right? All right. Just kidding. Not personal. She didn't tell me anything. All right. So take the left. Take the left and bring it over the right, just like that. And then bring the fingers down like this. Now, if you're doing it right, I can't see you all at the same time. If you want to hold it together. Hold it together. Your pinky should be at the top, and your thumbs are right here, Andy, at the bottom. Your thumbs are right there at the bottom. All right. Now, don't hurt yourself. This is what David did. I paid $150 to be in the front row. I did. You guys, I don't think you paid much. All right. So just follow me, and don't get hurt. Misdirection.
Yes.
So misdirection taught me that it's easy to distract people because why? The conscious mind is easily distracted. What's your name?
Victoria.
Victoria got it. Give her a hand. The conscious mind. Let's say it together. The conscious mind is easily distracted. Now, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to teach it to you. But you have to promise, raise your right hand and promise, raise your right hand and promise that you're not going to tell anybody. This is how David Copperfield does it. You can show people, you just can't tell people. All right, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to let you in on a trade secret.
Go slower.
I am. What is your first name?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's your first name again?
Michael.
Michael. So what you do, Michael, is you take the left, follow me if you want, you take the left and you put it over the right. Now this is what I did, and I learned this in 1972 from Misdirection. When I brought my hands around like this, if you're doing it right, your thumbs are at the bottom. Now, Michael, what I did is I said, your pinkies are at the top.
Right.
You're looking at that, right?
Yep.
And where are your thumbs?
Bottom.
Right. And what I did, Michael, is I let go and I pointed to my thumb. Make sense? So I let go. So what I did is I said, and then I just came over.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, now you know. You know, this guy gets paid millions of dollars. He walks out in front of 500.
Did you catch it when you first did it?
Never. No, I had to watch it over and over again until I, you know, and yeah, no, here's the reason. I didn't get fooled. The conscious mind is easily distracted. You think you know something and then you get surprised. You know what I mean? Has that ever happened to you? Yeah, I can see it. All right, let's do it again. Like this. All right, now I want you to focus on the time that I let go. So what you're doing is you're focusing on just one thing. Because if you're focusing on everything, you're going to be fooled. Michael, pay attention.
Oh, I got it. I told you that you dropped your hands and then.
Yes, but play along with me, okay? All right, there will be refreshments after for those who play along. All right, bring your left over your right. Go ahead, Michael. Left over the right. Now, what you want to do is you want to bring your hands like this and close it really tight. Go ahead, do it. Excellent. Now, look at the pinkies on my finger. Look at the pinkies on your finger. Now, look at my thumbs. Now, this is where I let go, Michael. But I don't have to. I did it when you weren't looking. Misdirection. So what misdirection taught me is that the conscious mind is easily distracted. So I spent 10 years with her. From 72 to 82, I took all the magic courses. I got mentored by magicians. I got all the books. I was with her for 10 years. Probably the longest relationship I've ever had. And then what I decided, I said, there's got to be more to this. I said, the conscious mind is easily distracted. So then I went to, what would you say? The unconscious mind. The unconscious mind must hold the secret to this. And then I realized this. Point number 2. The subconscious, or the unconscious, or the other than conscious, is already programmed. Woe is right. And when I was like 17, my mom told me this, and I don't know about you, I didn't listen to my mom. I did not listen to my mom. We're sitting in New Fairfield, Connecticut, watching television. My father's there, my sister's there, my mom's there, I'm sitting there. She got these big brown eyes. She's looking up at me. We're watching television. She's rolling her eyes. And I go, what are you, Mom? Like, what's going on? The Exorcist comes on television, a commercial. Then another movie about horror films. And I'm like, Mom, what's the deal? You know, very religious kind of person. I'm like, Mom, these are just commercials. She goes, Gregory, be careful. I said to myself, my mom is crazy. I was thinking that, 17 years old, you're a teenager, I don't know if you're with me. I said, Mom, I'm crazy. I said, Mom, come on. She said, Gregory, be careful what you expose your mind to. Because, and this is what she said to me, which I resisted, the unconscious mind is easily programmed. Let me show you what I mean. I don't know if you remember this, but it was on television for a very short period of time. And the commercial goes like this. Where's the... Exactly. You know that thing didn't even run for a year. Not even a year. You deserve a break today at... McDonald's. Barry Manilow, he wrote that. Don't squeeze the... So what advertisers do is they give us vision, they let us see something, they give it emotion, they have us to hear something, and they do it over and over and over again. So that we're walking in the store, we see the shark, and we're like, I don't know why I should buy this, but I think I should buy it. Oh, I'm driving by McDonald's, I don't know why, I deserve a break today, I think I'll stop. So what my mom taught me was this. The unconscious, or other than conscious, is already programmed. I think the best example for me is a movie I saw many, many, many years ago. Maybe some of you've seen it. Called Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. Raise your hand if you've seen it. Have you seen it? All right. I love this one. I watch it every Friday. Phil Connors, think of a triangle. At the top of the triangle is Phil, Phil, Phil. All he thinks about is himself. He's so self-centered. He goes to Punxsutawney. He's doing the Groundhog Day thing. Before that happens, the alarm clock goes off. Do you remember what the tune was? Anybody? I've watched it a million times. So.
Sonny and Cher.
Yes! Sing it with me. I got you, babe. Yeah, Sonny and Cher. How many else remember that? Probably because you've seen it a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the alarm clock goes off. Sonny and Cher, I got you, babe. Then, if you can pull this out of the hat, I'll be really surprised. Rise and shine, campers, and don't forget your booties, because it's cold outside. It's Groundhog Day. That's the first day. He wakes up, walks over to the window, sees everybody going up to Nottler Hill. It's Groundhog Day. It's no big deal. There's no conflict. There's no problems. There's no struggle. Next day, alarm clock goes off. Remember? I got you, babe. Rise and shine, campers, and don't forget your booties, because it's cold outside. It's Groundhog Day. They're playing yesterday's track. They're playing yesterday's track! Until he realizes he's playing yesterday's track. So the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day, he is experiencing Groundhog Day. And he tries to break through it, but he can't. Now, people that really love this movie, they say this goes on for thousands of years.
Right.
Yeah, nobody knows. I was talking to somebody the other day. They said, you know why I think it was thousands? I said, yeah, tell me why. He says, because he mastered the piano. You don't master a piano in a day. He mastered this, he mastered that. This must have gone on for more than a decade, more than a lifetime, over and over again, until he became a master expert at these things.
Well, the book is...
What's that?
The book has it for it.
I have the book. You have the book? We need to talk later. Give me your email. Not very many people know there's a book about this.
There's a book.
There's a book about this. Yeah, I have the book.
The book says it was there.
Yeah.
He wanted, the writer wanted it to be like thousands of years.
Yes. I like you. There's something about you I like. So yeah, every single day he's repeating it for thousands of years. And he tries to break the cycle. He can't. I'll tell you why. He's relying on the conscious mind. He's trying to change consciously, and he doesn't realize, think of a triangle. At the top of the triangle is his value, which is me, 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 and his beliefs about himself and other people. Until his values change, until his beliefs change, nothing changes. He's operating, trying to change with the conscious mind. He doesn't realize the program of his unconscious mind is running the show. So yeah, it could be thousands of years, or worse yet, it could be a lifetime.
Everything always, everything, everywhere, all at once.
Can you imagine living a life?
That's the movie that
Yes.
has the same kind of concept.
Yes. What's the name of it?
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
I will watch that. I will
You
Google
won't catch it until halfway through.
it. Okay. Don't give it a spoiler alert, but I will look into that. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
Just won a Golden Globe.
Okay. Is it a new movie or an old
Yes,
movie?
new.
Okay. Very nice. All right. Good. Good. Yeah. A lot of these movies repeat because there's only so many plots. There's so many bad guys and good guys, but he eventually changes. He eventually changes, and I'll tell you why he changes. Because he doesn't focus on the conscious mind. What he does is he takes a look at his values and his beliefs, and he's able to shift it. And when that happens, everything shifts. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You're probably thinking about your own life, right? You're going inside, and you're thinking about, hey, I wear the same clothes every day. I talk to the same people every day. I eat the same food. I interact with the same kind of situations. I'd like you to do this. I'd like you to think of two different geometric shapes. Simple, not like a square because everybody thinks of a square. And then think of a number between 1 and 10, like 3 but not like 3. And then what I'd like you to do is I would like you to have two different colors for this. All right? So how many of you came up with the number 7? Raise your hand if you thought of 7 immediately. Or the number, what number did you come up with, Mike?
1.
Okay, that's fine. And what about red? Did you think of red? Think of blue? Did you think of a triangle? How many of you thought of a triangle? Triangle? Circle? Take a look at the card that you wrote out and take a look at it. What's on it?
Circle and a triangle.
Yes, a circle and the triangle. So these things, the circle, the triangle, the 7, the colors have all been placed in there for good reason. There was a video clip, I don't know if you've seen it, it's called The Monkey Business Illusion. Have you seen this on YouTube? They have 2 teams. They have a team over here all wearing black, like me. They have another team over here that's wearing white. And they ask people to count how many times the basketball is being passed in this team over here. Spoiler alert, if you go online and Google it, you'll find the answer. The answer is 16. However, in the middle of it, they bring a guy out in a gorilla suit that goes like this, and only 50% of the people actually see it. So then they bring the people back in, and they ask them to watch it, to look for the gorilla. They all see it. But then they say, did you notice that the curtain changed from red to blue? No one had seen it. So the reason why this is number one, our conscious mind is easily distracted, but there's also programs running below the surface that blind us to what is right in front of us. So I don't know if you can relate to this struggle. All I can tell you, I can. When I saw this movie and I started doing the research and I realized that 45 to 55 or 65% of what we think every day is repetitive, 90% of what we're thinking today we're going to repeat tomorrow. And then when I realized that 43 to 48% of what we say or think or do is repetitive as far as habits, I came to the conclusion that my life has been like
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, very much so. So I wanted to break the pattern. I read all of the books, went to all of the seminars, took all of the courses, had people coach me all the way back to 1994, and it was almost like there was this invisible barrier that was stopping me to getting to where I wanted to go, what was important to me. For instance, in the year 2000, I bought my first house, and I was white as a ghost. I barely made the payments. I did okay. I made money, I lost money. I got in business, and then I lost businesses. But it was kind of like a roller coaster, really roller coaster. And I was frustrated. I literally felt like the guy in the movie Groundhog Day, Bill Murray. And it's because I was focusing on my conscious mind. Then fast forward to today. My house is paid off. I speak around the world. I travel around the world, been to Europe many, many times. I do what I want, with whom I want, whenever I want. I am my own boss. And there has been a major shift in my life. What do you think that would be? Anybody? Take a guess. Living each day as it comes. Yeah, that's a great answer. Yeah. Anybody else? There's no wrong answers.
Time feels different.
Time feels different. And tell me why you say that.
Well, the old way was probably like incremental.
Yep.
And now you're looking to see expansion.
Yes.
So expansion versus incremental feels different time-wise. I'm not saying it's longer or shorter,
Right.
but it feels different. Feels different. It's not really different. It's the clock.
Yes, I'm looking at the clock as you said that, yeah.
It feels different.
Right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes, what do you got?
You managed to make it through some boundaries that your conscious mind had perceived.
Right. Well, when I first started off, I spent a decade over here. I thought, I'll just read a book. I'll just take the course. I'll just go online. I'll just figure it out myself. Conscious mind. It's like pushing up a rock uphill. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I went to a couple seminars and they said, between 1 and 8 years old, 80% of your life is programmed. What you think, what you say, what you do, you are already by default programmed by the people that raised you. I'm like, oh my, how am I? Okay, I get this. I get that the conscious mind is easily distracted, but how in the world am I going to get this gigantic boulder of the unconscious mind that's controlling my thoughts every day? 45 to 65,000 thoughts every day, 90% of them are the same. 43 to 48% of what we say, do, and behave is already pre-programmed. Here's what happened. I was in Vegas. Oh, by the way, great answers. It's just not the best answer. I was in Vegas, and I was speaking at an event. There was like 35 people in the room. And after the speaking event, I found out that this guy that I really admired, his name is Kenton Nepper. He's a wizard. He's a business wizard. He's also an entertainer. There was a party in Vegas, closed. It was only for invitation only. You had to know somebody. I wanted to get to know this guy because proximity is power. You know, getting to know people and breaking the cycle and not just hanging around certain people, you know, that are in your past. I said, this is what I said to myself. I'm in Vegas. I'm speaking to this business group. I got to meet this person. I literally said, I'm going to do anything. I don't care what it takes. You ever get that way? You're just like, you know what? This is not going to be easy. It's going to be frustrating, but I see myself there. So I called up my friend Paul Draper. I said, Paul, you going to that party tonight? I said, can you take a guest? He said, yeah. My girlfriend's coming, but I'll put you down. I got into the party. Went up to this guy, Kenton Nepper. I met him. Got to know him. And then about 3 months later, I went to see an event that he did. And I showed up in Vegas. Spent the whole day together. We were working on different effects and magic. But he's very successful in business. So finally, I got up the courage to ask him. I said, would you mentor me? Would you take me under your wing and teach me what you know? Because I don't have 1,000 years to figure this out. I don't have 1,000,000 years to figure this out. You're really successful. And he says, okay, well, yeah, let's talk about it. So we talked about it, we negotiated it, and I paid him a ridiculous amount of money. I did. That's how hungry I was. And I moved into his house for 2 days, literally one-on-one. We spent 9 o'clock to midnight just talking one-on-one. To midnight. And I said to him, what is the secret? You know what he said to me? Can you keep a secret? That's what he said. He said, what I'm going to tell you, you got to keep as a secret. And I went, this guy looks, by the way, this guy looks like the Wizard of Oz. He's a little shorter than me. He's got this white beard. He dresses eccentric. If you go online, you can see him. And I said, why? Why do I have to keep this a secret? He says, because you can't tell people what I'm about to tell you. I said, why? He said, people won't listen, Greg. People will not listen to you. I'll teach you, but you have to promise that you're not going to flippantly just tell people. On the internet, publicly, you can teach them, you can mentor them, you can explain it to them, you can share it with them, but it has to be on a deeper level. I said, okay, all right, fine. He doesn't take too many, he doesn't even call them clients. It's a relationship of mentorship that goes back thousands of years with some people, right? And this is the relationship that I still have with him today. And I said, okay, I agree. I agree. I'm not going to tell people. What is the secret? And this is what he told me. People who are focused, people who know what they want, people who know what's important to them, they're able to consciously condition their unconscious mind for what's important. And I went, what? I said, say that again. He said, Greg, people who are successful, who are focused, who know what's important to them, that's why I had you write it down in the car, they're able to consciously condition their unconscious mind for what's important to them over and over and over again until they get it. I said, that's it. He goes, that's it. That's the magic. The magic is getting focused, Gregory, and staying focused. Most people don't do it. Now, I can't show you everything we talked about for 2 days. There's no way. So I bottled it up, and I put it on this card. The card is called Focus, Unlock Your Potential. I do not sell these at all. I give them away. And Kenton's work is on this card. So what it is a download. You just go there, you type in the code. Once you do it, you can't share it with anyone. You can't pass it on. And I'm going to give one away. I didn't bottle up everything, but there's a lot of information in here. Free. For the first person that can tell me the date when I met my uncle.
25th December 1972.
Bullseye! All right, I'm going to throw it to you right now. Yeah, take it on 9. I don't want to do that. All righty. Thank you. So, if you want one, they're not for sale. I don't sell them. When I do corporate speaking, they're $97. When I do nonprofit, they're a donation of $20. You don't have to buy it. But if you want to have a deeper dive, so let me show you what I'm talking about. Think about right now what you want. Think about what you wrote down on that piece of paper. Think about what is important to you. And I want you to see it, and I want you to feel it, and I want you to hear what is important to you as you say it to yourself. Got it? Now, imagine as you look up at me, I have a lemon in my hand. I can smell it. I can feel the lemon. It's yellow. It's kind of got bumps on it. And then imagine, just use your imagination, because this is what I asked Kenton. How does a person consciously condition their unconscious mind? He said, Greg, it's imagination. He says all athletes do it, all successful business people do it. They use their imagination in advance by what they see, what they feel, and what they hear in advance over and over again until they make it a reality. So here's a knife. Here's a knife. Take out a knife. Watch this. Now I want you to use your imagination. I'm going to cut into the lemon. Now the juices are beginning to come down my arm, and then I can actually smell the lemon. Now I'm going to crack the lemon open, and I have one half here and one half here, and I'm going to take the lemon, and I'm going to put it up to my mouth, and I'm going to bite into the other half. Let's see if you get the sensation. My friend James Mapes does this reel on stage. He's been doing it for 30, 40 years. He actually has a reel out. I love James. I love it. How many of you felt it? Raise your hand. Anybody? Oh my gosh. Okay, imagination. So what Kenton taught me is this is the baby step to the door of reality, because imagination is the first step towards reality. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He goes, Greg, this is the secret. The conscious mind is not going to help you. Your programmed mind, your unconscious, is already going to go by default. You have to recondition your mind. So who really felt it really strongly? Like really strongly? Oh, what's your name again?
Johanna.
Come on up. Give her a hand. Watch the camera, watch the camera. All right, good. All right, stand right here, face the audience.
Hello, audience.
So you wrote down something that's important to you.
I did.
Nobody knows it.
No,
I don't know it. It's private to you. Good. All right, so take your hands out of the pocket. All right. Go like that?
All of us?
Yeah, let's all do it. You're going to be our leader. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about what you want, and you all can do this too with her. She's going to lead us. Now, hold your hands out about this far apart. One hand is the conscious mind, the other hand is the unconscious mind. And in the middle, right in the center, I'd like you to think about what's important to you and see it as a dot or see it as a word. See it as a word. And I want you to believe that you deserve what you want. You believe it? Oh, excellent. This is wonderful. All right. And as an indication of that, and by the way, this works really well on very intelligent people. It does. So we're in a good place. So your hands are going to come together. And what this means is what it means to you. And what it means to me is that what's important to me is going to be a reality. Because I will it. Because I see it. In advance. This is what Kenton taught me. This is what we spend days on. Believing that what I want wants me, and believing that my unconscious and my subconscious will work together to bring it together. You'll see that your fingers are coming together. Closer. Your hands are coming together. You're not even thinking about it, but you're experiencing it. You're experiencing your fingers coming together. Closer. And closer. Are they coming together at all? They did. Now, do you feel comfortable telling us what you wrote down, or you want to keep it a secret?
No, I could tell.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I wrote down my grandchildren.
Yes. Now, how many?
I have 3.
All right. don't say the names, but grandchildren is important to her. So I'm hallucinating that you're a very kind person, that you're a loving person, that you're a family person, that you are nurturing. Am I right?
I am.
Yes. All right, good.
To a fault.
Yes.
To a fault.
Almost to the sense of maybe stepping out of boundaries.
Oh, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
sacrifices.
Sacrifices and giving of yourself.
Yeah.
Now, family, or I should say, let's use your word, grandchildren, right? That's what you said. That's what you wrote down, right? Which I don't know, you told us. Is a means value. Meaning, there's something behind the grandchildren. Deeper. What's the value? You want more grandchildren? No.
There won't be.
There won't be. So what is the end value of the grandchildren? What are you getting from them?
What do I get from them?
Yeah,
Or
and
what
what
do
do
I
you give to them? Either way.
I'm providing
Yes.
their home,
Yes. So,
their finances,
okay, gotcha.
and their future.
Okay. So you are sacrificing,
Yes.
so you are giving, and are you receiving?
Yes.
So if grandchildren is a means,
Mhm.
what do you really want? What's the emotion?
The emotion is a satisfaction of doing something I didn't get.
Yes, I love it. Yes.
That the holes that are in me actually get filled because I'm doing
You
it
were not
for
loved
them. I didn't
as a child.
get any of it.
Mhm.
No consideration, no love from family, no means. Even if I was in the dire strait, they always said, "You're on your own." So I became the opposite.
Right. Okay. Great. So I love this. So the first step is to visualize, and we did that.
Yeah.
You ready for the second step?
Yes.
Okay, great. So do this, just turn around like this, just turn around like that. Good, excellent, excellent. So the second thing is not only visualization, because we've done that together, the second thing is writing something down.
I did.
You did?
I did.
Now let me tell you a story. I heard about this 2009. How many know Jack Canfield? Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Years ago, I shared a stage with him. After it was over, he signed the book. He gave me a journal. I bought the journal. I had to pay for it. I have been writing things down since 2009. Every day I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. Now, here's what happens. At the end of the year, I think I did the math right, it comes to 1,185 entries that I'm grateful for. Like, I'm going to write down today that I was grateful to talk to you and have this conversation, right? Or that I was here, that I met you, that, you know, I got home safe. 5 things every single day. I've been doing this for years. When I started, I wanted to go to Fiji, wanted to travel the world, wanted to go to Europe. We talked about this earlier with Sue. She talked about that. None of this came true. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the means. All I did was write it down. Writing something down is powerful. And I'll tell you why. I don't know what you think of these two guys, but this is a true story. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, when they met for the very first time, they were at a wedding. Bill sat over here, Warren Buffett sat over there. One of the moms got involved. Go figure. And the mom said to each one of these guys, what is the secret to your success? Bill, I need to know. Write it down, one word. Write down the word. Sit over there. He listened to her. Then Warren Buffett sat over there. Write down one word. Guess what the word was? Just take one guess.
Plan.
Plan. What do you think? What do you think?
Visualization.
Focus. It was focus. And whether you like these guys or don't, the point is they wrote down the same word without working it out. It was amazing. Focus is powerful. So I want you to focus, stand forward, look this way. Can you remember the last time, with your eyes open, that you felt this feeling of love with your grandchildren? Can you think of a specific time?
You want to know that.
I don't want to know anything. I just want you to go there. Can you go there?
Yes.
Okay, so close your eyes. Now I want you to imagine that this is really close to you. And I want you to see it, but I also want you to feel it. So what we're working on now is what you wrote down. So imagine you're writing this down in the card, and you may have a little bit of a tear in your eye, but you want to go there emotionally and relive it and experience it in your heart. As your heart opens, take a deep breath in and exhale. How do you feel?
More than relief.
Yes. And tell me why.
It fills.
Yeah.
And with that filling, you could just rest in that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right. So now I want you to open your eyes. All right. Take a deep breath in. I also want you to remember a time that you felt love. That you felt love from other people. Can you remember that? All right. Close your eyes. Bring it into you close so that you see it. Colorful, and it's bright. It's very bright. It's colorful. And you're experiencing that love as you also think about the love that you have for these children, grandchildren. How do you feel now? Open your eyes. Good.
Much more.
Yeah.
And there's, when you thought there was not much more room, now there's
You can
somehow more room.
You can expand it with your imagination. So what you're looking for, you already have. You good. Give her a hand. I appreciate Cindy saying yes to me, so I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would love to work with you. Is that okay?
Okay, sure.
All right, come on up. Give her a hand. All right, stand over here this side.
Okay.
Now, she wrote down something. You all wrote down something. You did not share with me. You're on camera. You know, raise your right hand. You did. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is I would like you to think about, just like we did with her, think about what you want, what you wrote down, you know, and just have a feeling of it, but also see it. See it in your heart, see it in your mind. All right? Now, open your eyes. Now, here's the question. We didn't do this. We're focusing here on sound, because we talked about visual, we talked about seeing, then we talked about feeling. The other thing that Kenton shared with me is words are powerful, almost like a spell, you know, when you write things down. It's almost like a spell in that when you write things down, your mind focuses on it. So we're going to use some words with you. Let's try this. Say out loud with me, I can and I will.
I can and I will.
Excellent. Now it's easy. It's easy to remember. Say it.
I
Can and I will. All right. So you wrote down something on the card. On a scale to 1 to 10, honestly, 10 being like really, I feel really good about this. I know that I can continue this in my life. I know that there's no problems. I'm a 10. Or 1 is like, I don't know if this is going to work. A 5 is like right in the middle. You're like iffy. On a scale to 1 to 10, we're going to work with you, so it's going to go up or down. Where do you think you are on that scale? 10 being like really positive, 1 being bottom of the floor.
And maybe about a 5.
Okay, good. So watch what we're going to do. I tell people this is worth millions. I didn't pay Kenton millions, but I will tell you, I really believe this is really worth this exercise. Even though you're not up here, you'll learn something. All right, so we're going to use your imagination. Imagine there's a circle about 6 inches away from you. It's a round circle, and it is, let's give it a name. We're going to call it the circle of excellence. It is an excellent circle. It is a happy circle. It is a loving circle. It's a positive circle. It is, what color is that? What color?
Pink.
All right, so it's pink. Using her visualization, she's imagining the circle.
I see it.
All right, pink circle. So what you're going to do, Cindy, is you're going to step into that circle, not now, in a moment. You're going to step into that circle and you're going to feel the emotion or the value or the thing that you wrote down.
Okay.
Not necessarily a person, but you know, what's behind a thing or person, which is what you want to experience more of. So before you do that, I have to ask you a question. Can you remember the last time you felt this way? Don't tell me, just think it and feel it. This emotion anywhere else in the past? Yes or no?
Emotion.
Yeah, the emotion that you wrote down, the word that you
Okay.
wrote down. I'm sure you have,
Yes.
you know, we've all
Yes,
experienced
yes.
emotions. You can,
Yeah.
all right, so go there now. Not just in your head, but in your heart. I want you to see it. I
Okay.
want you to, don't tell me the event. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. And then maybe say to yourself, in your mind, I can and I will. I can and I will. Are you there now? Okay, step in the circle. Pink circle, and stand there. Now just feel it as it's going up from your ankles, all the way up your back, all the way up to your neck, all the way up to your head, and it's exploding with this feeling. Do you feel it?
Yeah,
What do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10?
I feel like a 9.
Good. Step back up. Step back up. Give her a hand. All right. So this is the hypnosis that we do to ourselves. Look at the big smile on her face, okay? So, people go to therapy, they take drugs, they do this, why? I don't know why. I mean, why don't you come back and talk to me about your problem? Sure, I can get you in on Tuesday. We'll talk about that thing that happened to you so many years ago. All right, so Cindy, you're a 9. Okay, all right, great. Take your hands out of your pocket. All right, so step into my other section over here, right here. All right. Nobody will get hurt, but we're just playing with her imagination. So what we're using is 3 modalities: what she sees, what she feels, and what she says to herself. Now tell me, do we do this? I do this, you do this, we all do this. All right. There's a circle in front of you. See it?
Yeah.
Imagination, visualization. All right. Now, this circle is a circle of, what would we call this? We would call this
The quarter. Circle of the quarter.
That's a nickel. It's yours. So what, before I get to the color, let me tell you a little bit about this circle. See, I got to go there first, before you go. It's a circle of disappointment. It's a circle of depression. It's a circle of sadness.
I'm getting orange.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, now I want you to think of a time, just like I just did, when you felt sad. Can you feel it? Now say to yourself, I can't and I won't.
Can't and I won't.
Step in the circle. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel about getting this?
About understanding it.
Feeling it, knowing that you're going to have what you want. With all of this sadness and struggle.
Still like a 4 or 5.
You're a 4 or 5 step up. Okay, so we don't want to leave her there. So what I did is I went first. I saw it in my mind first. I visualized my anger, my hurt, my disappointment. I saw it. Didn't think it. I saw it. I felt it. I went there. Did you notice that I went there? Okay, so I went there. Because we all have sadness. I went there. I saw it. I felt it. And then I said things that I said to myself when I couldn't get out of the bed. All right. So now, do you smell popcorn? No, you don't. Okay, so spin around like this. You got to break. And then come over here. Because we don't want to keep her over here. We don't want to keep her over, right?
No, I don't want to be over.
Okay, so so what is 5 plus 3?
8.
Excellent. All right, good. All right, so now I don't know how far we can get with this, but this is interesting. This is really interesting. You're going to, over here, you're down to a 4. Now, what we've done is, all we have done is use her imagination by what she sees, feels, and hears about what she wrote down, which is important to her. Imagine what your life would be like if every day you focused on this circle of excellence and focused on your visual, what you feel, and what you hear, and you reprogrammed your unconscious mind to get what you want. That's where the real magic is. All right, so you're going to step in the pink circle, but not yet.
Nope.
All right. I want you to think of a time that was really successful for you. I want you to think of a time that was really, you just felt overjoyed, and you felt love, and you felt closeness to people and fellowship with people. Can you think of that?
Yeah.
All right, now don't just think of it. I want you to experience it. Can you relive it?
Okay.
Okay, good. Now step in the circle. All right. Now imagine that it's coming up through your ankles, through your legs, all the way up your torso, back through your neck, and through your head, and explodes out into the universe, and you just feel this great feeling that you worked out. How do you feel?
Okay.
Step back up.
Excellent.
How was it?
I feel excellent.
Okay. Give her a hand. We did not work this out. This is what Kenton told me. He told me that People who try to get focused using their conscious mind do not stay focused because they can easily be distracted. It's pretty easy to distract yourself. And then when you figure out that the conscious mind isn't going to help you, then you say, well, maybe I should try the other thing. And then you hit up against the wall and you realize you're doing the same thing and then most people just quit. And they just settle for a life of... Exactly.
Yeah.
They do. Not most people, if you're here today, you don't want that. You want something more. You want to understand more. And I applaud you for doing that. So, where do we go from here? Here's where we go. I want you to realize, just like we did with this lady over here, that what you want, you already have. You already have it. You already have it. There's nothing that you have to do to get the love that you wrote down. Did you write down love?
Yeah.
And did it have to do with your daughter, Mary?
Yes.
Yes, they give her a hand. That was wonderful. Have a seat. See how happy she looks? So at this point, I'm going to ask for questions. We do like about 3 or 4 minutes of Q&A. I didn't tell you everything. If you want one of these, it's well worth it. It's $20 donation. However, if you have questions, I am here for the next 5 minutes. I am legally contracted till 3 o'clock. Yes. Yes, go ahead.
My whole life I've practiced exactly what you're talking about today.
Yes.
And I believe I'm pretty successful.
Very
I don't have everything that I've ever wanted,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a very hard thing to do, as you're describing. The only thing I have issues with now, as I'm aging, I feel like I'm losing time. How do you control time with this same practice? To not feel that it's slipping.
You control time by recognizing that time is an illusion. Have you ever been in a bank line and there's 10 people in front of you and it's driving you crazy and you're emotionally frustrated?
Yeah.
Versus being in a place like today where an hour has gone by and you had fun and boy, that flew by. So time is an emotion, and understanding that if you focus on what's important to you, time will fly and you'll be in the zone and you'll be living the life of your dreams. That's what I'm doing.
And
So
you
yeah.
say don't worry about time.
I mean, who knows if I am? I just turned 60. Who knows? Like, I'm planning the next 10 years. I'm planning perhaps my retirement after 70. I love what I do. I think it comes down to realizing the only thing you have is this moment and the emotions that you feel about it. Yeah, and you do plan, right? You do plan. I think it really comes down to saying everybody has the same amount of time. It's what people do with that asset. Do they waste time? Do you waste time? Do you get distracted? Do you listen to misdirection getting you all over the place? Social media, here, there, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff is a circus, by the way. It's just meant to distract the masses. If you really lived your dreams and you really lived your focus, a lot of people would be pretty upset. And most people don't anyway, so it doesn't matter. Most people are living Groundhog Day. If you can really get clear on what's important to you and you follow that list, I think that's where the magic is. Don't worry about the time. Does that make sense?
Yes and no.
Why the
But
no?
I think because I'm so in tune with what's going on, I see time just flying.
It does fly. Yeah.
And
I can't believe I'm 60.
well, when you're a kid,
Yes.
time lasts, summer vacation lasts forever. And it's a process of aging. Now,
Right.
as the older you get, you turn around, it's already, January's gone.
Yes. Well, the older you get, when you're 5 years old, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Do you tend to live in the past, or do you live in the present, or are you living in the future? Where are you spending most of your time emotionally?
I think present.
You are.
I
Okay.
try.
Okay.
to stay in the
So
present.
stay with me right now. Who's Dusty? Who is it?
A greyhound.
Oh.
My buddy greyhound.
You have a dog.
He's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not a channeler, so I can't tell you what. Oh, I don't know. Other than that, that's all I know. But yeah, you love the dog.
Oh, yeah.
So dogs lived in the moment,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I had 2 huskies. I loved my dogs. Yeah, probably won't do it again. But Dusty is what you wrote down.
Yes. I
You
did.
didn't write down Mike.
No.
All right. Well, Mike, we need to talk. So let me show you one other thing. I would not be here today, and this is the truth. I would not be here today if it wasn't for my Uncle Victor. 1972 was Christmas. I turned 10. I can't believe that.
You show me how to do it.
That was 50 years ago. Now, this is not the original. If this was the original, I would never leave home with it. I don't know what I would do with it. I'd probably put it in a case. Put out your hand. I just want to remind you that the conscious mind is easily distracted. The conscious mind is easily distracted. However, I want you to remember this one thing. Staying focused and getting focused, that's the real magic. What I did just there was the trick. Thanks. Have a good night.
What? I know.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.